Hello and welcome to It Takes a Village to Secure Your Business with F5, Google Cloud, and WWT. Now, today's exciting webinar, you might have guessed, is sponsored by F5, Google Cloud, and Worldwide Technology, and produced by Actual Tech Media. My name is Jess Steinbuck. I'm with Actual Tech Media, and I am so happy to be your moderator for this conversation today, along with Scott Becker, who is here with us on live chat. And we have a whole collection of awesome experts who want to engage in an interactive and fun conversation with all of you. Now, if you have joined us for an F5 chat before, you already know the drill. You know how this is going to go. We are going to throw out all the slides. We're going to chuck them away. We're going to set that aside, and we are just going to start talking. Now, together with this crew of awesome experts, we will get into some of the security issues, the ideas, the strategies, things that are already top of your mind, and maybe some of those things that you did not know that you needed to know. We're going to take some questions at the end, and our awesome speakers are going to be answering all of these on live chat throughout our session today. So get ready, get excited, get curious, best of all. Right now, just stretch out those fingers, get everything loosened up, and get ready to ask all of those burning questions that you've been waiting to dig into when it comes to security. And we are going to kick things off today. All right, my friends. So before we dive in, I want to start by doing a little bit of a guided tour of your audience console. We'll just wander through your audience console together. We're going to start at your questions section. So open up that questions window, and right now you can give it a little bit of a test run. We're going to say hi. We're going to say hello. We're going to greet the other members of our community and let them know how you're doing today on this beautiful morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, evening, wherever you are, whatever time of day it is for you. Send a little greeting out to everyone out there in the community and let us know what you're up to and how your day is going. And that's your test run. Okay, so that questions window is where you want to get involved. You want to get interactive. You're going to post all of your insightful questions, your comments, your brilliant feedback and ideas that you have, or your casual and not brilliant feedback and ideas. We want to hear from you. We want this day to be fun and interactive. We want it to be a casual conversation. So be sure that you are using that questions window throughout the day today to connect with our speakers. And a quick side note, that questions window is also the best place to reach out to our team if you do have any technical issues. However, I do want to remind you all that a browser refresh is going to clear out most of the usual issues. So if there's an audio glitch or a slide isn't advancing, the browser refresh is probably going to clear that up for you. But if not, if the tech gremlins have really got a hold of you today, no problem. Just shoot us a message in that questions window, and the Actual Tech Media team will be there to help you out. All right, now the last thing I want to point out on your audience console is the handouts tab. So you can check out some of the cool resources, the follow-ups, and takeaways from our conversation today. Be sure you spend some time exploring there. And I have one special handout I'm going to tell you about in just a moment. But before I bring that up on screen here, I do also want to remind you all that in addition to all this great content we're going to be hearing, there's also a $250 Amazon gift card that we will be giving away at the end of the webinar. Now, in order to win that prize, you need to meet all of the terms and conditions, which are outlined in the handouts tab for you, and you need to be here live and present. I should have done those in the reverse. You need to be here live and present in order to win the Amazon gift card. So stay tuned for that at the end. Be present and live, hopefully. And then we'll get that to you after we wrap. So stay tuned for that. Okay, now I mentioned that there was a handout that I wanted to call some special attention to, and I do. So here it is up on your screen. If you sign up for a meeting with F5, you could actually get a wonderful ugly sweater. I had to do this because I think these are awesome sweaters. I don't know if they qualify as ugly sweaters, but you get an awesome sweater from F5, and I'll let you decide if it's beautiful or ugly. But just sign up for a meeting. So you get to have a great conversation with the F5 team, and you get to have this really cool sweater takeaway. So make sure that you've got that QR code. It's also linked for you in the handouts tab, but be sure that you are signing up for those meetings after we wrap. And there's one more chance to win an awesome prize today, and that is by asking a question. So I mentioned that asking a question brings up the engagement, gets everyone all fun and interactive, gets our speakers really excited and passionate because you're excited and passionate, and that is a great thing. And it also enters you to win that best question gift card. So $50 Amazon gift card going to somebody who is here and asking questions, and we review all those questions at the end of our webinar, and then we pick one of them and we follow up with you. So get those questions coming in, my friends. Okay. Here we are. It is time to get rolling. I need to get our speakers on out here with me, but let's introduce them. Let's say hello to the folks that are going to walk us through this exciting conversation today. So today we will be chatting with a superstar lineup of expert presenters, and that is Misty Hughes Garza, Global Partner Manager at F5, Joshua Bushman, Practice Lead, Worldwide Technology, or WWT, and Joshua Hazlitt, our returning star and also Strategic Technology Partner Manager, Google Cloud. So that's two Joshuas and a Misty. We're going to switch. I think Joshua, we're going to switch you to Josh. We'll have a Joshua, and a Misty. All right. Well, let's get our experts on out here with camera with me, and we'll get things rolling. Just 1 second here. We'll get that started. All right. Well, team, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I know that we have some great information lined up, a really fun conversation ahead. And I love these kind of off presentation style conversations, round tables that we get to have, and just so happy to be a part of this today. Joshua, you and I have done a few of these together now. So I'm going to start things out with you. Can you just give a little hi, hello to the audience there? And then we'll have all of you say hello.
You bet, Jess. Thanks for having me back. And hello, everybody. Thanks for joining today. Today, just really interested in how can we help focus on bringing together an ISV partner with Google Cloud and a service provider that really can help our customers focus on some key things. I mean, we know that businesses today are overwhelmed with options, right, from a cloud and a security perspective. So today we're here to simplify those things. And it's just great to be here with everybody. Thank you.
All right, Josh, you want to say hi, hello to the folks out there?
Yeah, sounds good. Josh Bushman. So I support our cloud marketplace and cloud resale teams or cloud cost management at Worldwide Technology. So really my focus is on, really helping with that procurement part of the different ISVs that are out there in the various clouds.
Cool. Yeah, cool gig. All right, Misty?
Hi, thanks for having me today. My role at F5 is that I am a global partner manager. I work with WWT specifically in finding routes to market and helping our mutual customers in needs in what they're trying to get to, right? Whatever that end result is, we work together to make sure that it's possible.
Well, that's a really great place to kind of start things out, Misty, because today I think the end result that we're really focusing on is simplifying security. So of F5's many wonderful partners, why are you here today with Google Cloud, other than, we like Joshua, he's all right, and WWT today, talking about reducing security complexity? Why this group of people, Misty?
So I think, when we look at Worldwide Technology, they are one of F5's biggest partners. And the reason that is that we've built out mutual technologies that provide a multitude of resources to customers, right? We help with WWT, they're able to help, from everything from the solution design, training, implementation. Really, the mutual goal is to simplify the entire process for our customers, for procurement, to install, to management, you name it. Across the board, we have comprehensively go-to-market strategies that just help our customers with their end goals.
Well, and this is kind of what I think Josh and Joshua, you guys were hitting on at the start, is that sense of like overwhelm. Is that part of what has made this partnership so wonderful then as well?
Yeah, you bet. I think it's, just as customers are trying to make their journey down the technology path, right, and figure out what their next evolution looks like to adopt innovation, scale, reduce complexity, right? That's the journey that most of our customers are on today. They're looking for experts that can help guide them, right? F5's a tremendous partner of ours that helps to customers secure and optimize from an application deployment standpoint. And then WWT is here to help customers down that journey. So yeah, it's exciting to be here together today.
Well, I love these types of conversations where we get to see these collaborative teams working together, because it really does help solve these solutions in fun and creative ways and innovative ways. And I know F5 does have a lot of really exciting things going on, and I'm really looking forward to kind of digging into this a little bit further, especially because obviously simplicity and complexity on either end of the scale is such a problem for so many of us right now. And I want to kind of start things out, and I'm going to send things over to you, Josh, to start us out there. And then maybe Joshua, if you have anything you want to add in. There was a recent study from Ernst Young that found that the vast majority of organizations are currently adding 2 or more new security tools to their environment to address these increasingly sophisticated threats and threat actors in that expanding landscape and attack surface that we hear about all the time, right? All the scary stuff, all the doom and gloom. But these tools, great, it's important, and we need to be paying attention and adding the security tools. But then that also can add complexity. I picture these little houses, and we're just sort of tacking on all these really cool bits and pieces to the house. And now we have this gorgeous mansion house, but it's very complex. And how do you get to the bathroom if you, if you haven't built the right stairway? So I'm curious, Josh, what you are seeing for these crazy security houses that people are building in terms of that complexity. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, no, and you're dead on there. There's multiple tools out there. There's, thousands of ISVs, and security sector really seems to have adopted the marketplace more so than any of the other ISVs out there. So there's different tools. There's multi-cloud environments, hybrid environments. So there's all these different things out there and things to navigate. The tech stacks are being integrated with custom work. There's headaches around for security teams around end users, which can slow initiatives and app modernization. And now with AI being a huge topic as well, especially in cybersecurity, it helps to have a partner that can help navigate all these different sectors. So it's not just the security team, but even your procurement team, and whether it be through consumption-based models or annual payments for these different products. It really helps to have somebody in there that can help you make sense of it all.
Yeah, and I think, Josh, to your point, right, you mentioned AI being a key component. We're seeing, from a bad actor standpoint, AI is being employed to, increase the complexity and capability of the threat vectors and what the bad actors can bring. So, yeah, today it makes a lot of sense that companies are reevaluating what is their current threat posture and, what tools are they using to make sure that they're protecting their environment. And so that's one of the reasons that we're being really proactive from a Google perspective around how not only are we making a platform that provides AI technology to help defend against those bad actors, that ISVs can integrate natively into their own solutions. But then we're working with ISV partners to make sure that we've got a wide range of solutions that customers can choose from. And then, of course, WWT, brings in the expertise to help consult with that process, so customers are getting the right tool for the right use case, and they're bringing it together to make sure that they've got a consistent posture across all those threat vectors. So, yeah, you're right. It's getting more complex, but there are experts here to help walk you down the path.
And Joshua, just to add something in there real quick, as you said, you're working with other ISV partners, right? There's one of the things I've seen really lately is there's a lot of collaboration between different, security ISVs out there where they're utilizing, products from different ISVs, to really give that end-to-end, tooling that you can use. So that's been one of the things that I've really enjoyed, is seeing some of these ISV partners work together, instead of competing against each other.
Yeah, and to add to that, I think when you talk about F5 and the security that we enable with our customers, is that with our distributed cloud, you're able to bring all of the security and access management that you currently have on-prem, and you can take that out to your chosen cloud, your public chosen cloud. Or multiple clouds for that instance. So you're able to take those security that peace of mind that you've always known with F5 and move it out into a multiple cloud situation. So we have worked hard with Google to ensure that we can provide those same security functionality that our customers are used to.
This is such a great segue for us because Misty, you're exactly right. It's not just the threat landscape that's evolving; it's also the environments that we're managing and protecting, and that increasing complexity on all sides means that as Joshua, as you were sort of alluding to, that there isn't this that people can get excited about a new tool, but it may or may not actually be the best tool for them, the best tool for their environment. And I know that one of the things that this partnership has always worked really closely to is making sure that people are getting the right solution for them, for their environment, for their organization. And Josh, I'm going to kick this back to you a little bit because I think digging into that a bit further, Gartner's top security trends looking at 2023 made a couple of points that are around this idea of simplification. I think this really is speaking to the fact that this is top of mind for a lot of folks out there today. And so I want to explore that a little bit, that simplification, and thinking about cybersecurity platform consolidation really in particular. Is that something that you're seeing? Is that a trend that you're seeing out there for folks that you're talking to?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's, not just on the commercial side, but even public sector side. We see RFPs coming out for, that vendor management, and they're really trying to go down to a handful of vendors instead of having 50 or 60 or 70 vendors that they're trying to choose from, where they can integrate these products and have a unified management, around their security. So absolutely seeing that happening, like I said, in both parts of not only public sector, but commercial side. And really what that can do is it can, limit the time spent on administration and the use of security tools, and then gives you faster detection and response when products are working together, and really can increase that scale and effectiveness of your security team.
Which
That's
is
a
a
really good point.
huge. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Joshua.
Yeah, sorry, Jess. I just, Josh, good point. When you think about this day and age, it's about getting the right data at the right time and then being able to put analytics over the top of it so that you can respond quickly. And there's so many notifications that are hitting the security operations teams that it's so important that you have the right information, but then you automate whatever you can to take the heavy load off the teams. And so that's really, important component of what you were talking about when it comes to how do you spend less time on the administration, of those security tools, and how do you, try and automate what you can, and then have your teams focus on the high value targets so that they're as productive as they possibly can be.
Joshua, you just made the perfect segue for me. I have a follow-up question on exactly that because the human side of this change is burnout usually, right? There's a lot of pressure and noise and notification fatigue and all these great things that are these security teams are facing now. So Misty, I actually was wondering if you could talk to us a little bit about Gartner does talk about human-centric security design, and the idea behind that being that we're looking to minimize friction that comes with some of the cybersecurity tools and processes, and some of the frustrations and fatigue that can happen. So Misty, could you actually give us a little bit of insight into what that friction actually is, what Gartner is referring to when they're talking about that?
Yeah, I think, if you look at some of the traditional security out there and kind of as a user, what we come up against, and you think of things like overly complex processes for the end users, such as things like CAPTCHA, right? You want to go in, you want to do something quickly, but you have to match, how many fence posts do you see in this pictures, are, making employees and customers jump through hoops in the name of security. The reality is, whether you are an end user or if you're using an app, if we are such a fast, we're so used to instantaneous, gratification, if you will, that if we even have to wait a few seconds, we're literally will stop what we're doing and go elsewhere.
Yep.
That's the point that we've become. So if you make anything overly complex, or even make your end users or your internal end users go through a few extra steps, then that's where you're seeing that friction, and that's where customers are losing. Or, I'm sorry, accounts are losing end users, and then employees are getting frustrated, right? And then when you talk about security and you speak about development and those things, they just want to go fast. They don't want to have to worry about the security. Their whole job is to, if you're developing, is to go quickly to market. So they'll bypass the security if at all possible. So
Yes.
that's what we talk about when we look at the friction that's out there in the market.
Oh, that's so important. Making it so that it's not even that they don't even notice it, that they don't see it, so that they're just going about
Yeah.
their day. Because you're absolutely right, and especially a lot of the folks on some of those teams out there might be able to just avoid the roadblock, and then that doesn't help anyone. So that, I think, is actually a really cool thing to be taken into account, and maybe something that does get forgotten, because of course, our initial thought when we're looking for security is like, yeah, all the guard dogs and the metal and the locking things. I don't know how to design a secure castle, clearly, but big secure castle. That would be very, very difficult and annoying to get in and out of. So Joshua, what is Google Cloud doing to help simplify all of this complexity, all of this need for the big lockdown castle, and really help find that solution that is going to hit that 1-2 punch of protecting, keeping the protective and security measures in place without creating a castle that nobody can get into? And then, to Misty's point, they just, all right, well, I'm going to go to that fun house down the way that doesn't have the guard dogs and the scary moat.
I think there's three things, Jess. The first one is what Misty was alluding to, which is how do you get the right solutions architected to where you can provide high performant application delivery to your end users, right? You don't want to trip users because they've got a poor experience. So you need to make sure that you've first selected the right solutions and created the right architecture to deliver that. The second piece is you have to make it easier for your DevOps and SecOps teams to deploy and then monitor. And so how do you automate as many of those processes as possible? How do you build it into your code to production environment? And then how do you make sure that you're performing the right scale and automation when it comes to application delivery, so that your applications can scale and provide on-demand service to your users as needed, which is really important. And so then that comes to the question of, okay, I know how to deliver right for my users. I know how to deliver right for my security teams and DevOps teams. How do I procure this and get it into my environment? And that's where we've really worked hard with the ISV partners like F5 and with the resellers like WWT to take a look at how do we simplify the process of procurement and making sure that they can, once you've selected the right tools, make sure they get delivered easily. And so solution delivery and procurement, has been evolving as far as what's that process look like? Who are the relationships that you bring to the table? And our marketplace has been key in really adapting to this new change and the way the customers are driving this change and kind of a demand for how do we take a look at what's the most effective, efficient, and cost-effective way to just approach it. And we noticed that in a recent report from Tackle.io, it shows that the number of new cloud marketplace buyers grew from 200% from Q1 to Q4. And the backbone that's driving that growth is really the procurement tech. So things are changing in the way that there's vendor consolidation, the way that procurement teams are taking a look at how can we make sure that we fulfill what the business needs. And then the growth of our partner ecosystem, of course, has been going on in the background to help and deliver a more rich environment and more opportunity on the marketplace. And of course, customers then get the benefit of drawing down against the commit with Google Cloud, which is a huge benefit. It increases their discounts and their incentives that they can get in that whole process. And they get it all in a single bill, which is super helpful.
Yeah, speaking of making things simple, I appreciate that. Well, I want to keep going with this conversation around the customers, and maybe get into a little bit of the specifics around what you all are seeing from your customers in terms of eliminating the friction points that we've just been talking about, and maybe kind of look at some of those real world examples. And I'd actually really love to hear from all of you on this one, because I'm sure everyone has insight here. And Josh, maybe we could start out with you.
Yeah, sounds good. And you're talking about eliminating friction for customers right now?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep. So, I'd say one of the big things, and really Joshua just talked about this, was, the marketplace really is something that is used to eliminate some of that friction, right? We've seen procurement times go down from, weeks in some cases down to days or even hours. Just a quick example, we had a client that had a security breach. They needed a product within hours to get it up and running. As we all know in security, that response is vital, right? If you're down for hours, it can be millions of dollars, and the marketplace was a quick route that we're able to utilize to have these customers procure these ISV products, very, very quickly. So, that's one thing that I think it definitely helps eliminate that friction. And then obviously, like we said, collaborating with, our strong partners or security partners like F5, and then also being aware of the different multi-cloud environments out there. So, Google's been great about getting on the marketplace. There's a big rush for all these ISVs to be procuring through there, or not only procuring, but selling through there. So we see our partners utilizing the marketplace, our clients utilizing the marketplace. And, really Google's been good about making sure that, customers have multi-cloud or hybrid environments, and making sure that, just purchasing through the Google marketplace isn't going to tie them into one, right? So if they have to deploy some of it across another cloud service provider, they do have that capability. So I'd say, those are some of the ways that they're eliminating friction, and making that procurement and deployment easier.
I think maybe Misty, if you want to add on from there, and then we'll let Joshua chime in at the end.
Yeah, I think Josh actually covered a lot of it, but when you look at our partnership with both Google as well as with WWT, allowing working with WWT to understand for their customers where directionally they need to architect the best solution, the highest level of security, allowing them to bring along their F5, policies, security that they already know, and being able to put that out into multiple cloud environments as customers are utilizing not only, when we look at hybrid environments, they might have a private cloud, multiple public clouds, then they can just with ease take their security policies with them to any environment. So, and that is when you talk about making it less friction, that is the key. Being able to, spin up, spin down as you need, and having it across, you need a solid policy and security policy across all platforms as a customer.
It's a good point, Misty. And I think to your point too, I mean, we're talking about Google Cloud Marketplace as a procurement vehicle, but the other thing is, we've got the ability through the listings with F5 to be able to have customers purchase your flexible consumption pricing via other procurement methods, and then still be able to leverage the listings to deploy easily inside of GCP. So you don't necessarily have to pay through the marketplace, but you can deploy through the marketplace if you already bring your own license with F5. So that gives more flexibility for customers too, and how they're procuring and deploying.
That is an excellent point. So most of our, a lot of our largest customers are utilizing our flexible consumption program, which just really allows customers to buy in any fashion and utilize our technology in any fashion, whether that is still utilizing on-prem hardware, whether it is VEs, whether it's subscription-based, or you're talking SaaS, or, bring your own device, as you mentioned, Josh, in any deployment methodology, they're able to utilize that in a way that they feel comfortable with under the flexible consumption program.
I think that that comfort piece is a big. I don't know. I was actually about to say it's a big side effect of simplicity, but I also think potentially it's a chicken and the egg. It's also kind of often the root of simplicity if you're looking at that human-centered design. And Joshua, it seems to me that Google Cloud Marketplace, from what I'm hearing, is pretty simple already. It's pretty easy to use. But I know all of the people in this room are not happy with, and things are great. You guys are all constantly evolving, constantly innovating, and there's always cool new things coming down the road. So Joshua, how are we going to see Google Cloud Marketplace change and evolve in the near future?
Yeah, good question, Jess. So, one of the things that I think has been really key is for us to try and figure out, as customers have been leveraging this new way of working and procuring, what are some of the ways that we can help enhance the way that the three of us can come together to make that customer journey exactly what they need it to be, right? We're bringing in the expertise from WWT, we're bringing in great solutions like F5 provides, and then how does the customer make sure that all that fits together well when they hit Google Cloud? And so what initiative we've been working on is to try and simplify the resale procurement process. Customers have built a trusted security reseller relationship over years, And now they can bring those relationships directly into our ecosystem on the marketplace. It's been one of those things where we've been trying to figure out how do we all play together when we make sure that the customer can get what they need, and then make sure that they're leveraging the relationships they already have. And of course, ISVs can work with resellers such as WWT on the end-to-end procurement without having to leave our platform. And so we've been rolling this out, and the feedback has been positive and really good from customers. So we're excited to see what that next evolution looks like, and how do we make sure that it's tailor fit for what customers need from us today. A second initiative is our private catalog feature. So if you think about security offerings, not just anybody inside the organization would be procuring those. So what organizations want to do is make sure that they can really tailor who has access to what listings. And then with this feature, a CIO can sanction specific products or partners that they want their team to be able to purchase. So it helps that procurement method of how do we make sure that we can open up the tech stack and the solutions across the organization, but then focus the buyers on what they need, and make sure you don't have some shadow IT purchases going on the side, right? It keeps the teams focused and make sure that we're walking them down the right path.
Well, I think clearly the audience really would like to learn more and hear more about this, because we have a lot of great questions coming in. I do kind of want to move us into some audience Q&A now. But before we jump into that, we're going to get to as many of the questions as we can today. I know that we're not going to have time for all of them. And so there's probably going to be a lot of people out there wondering, how do I learn a little bit more? And I always think that's a nice piece of insight to give folks. So if somebody was looking to find a little bit more information about, in particular, some of the changes that you just outlined for us, Joshua, what would you recommend as that way to kind of stay in the know about what's up in Google Cloud Marketplace?
Yeah, you bet. Absolutely. Thanks, Jess. So I think the first thing is, if you're an ISV partner or you're a reseller, the first place to go is to join our Partner Advantage program. It's our partnership hub, and it's open to any organization to join, so customers can too. There are different partnership tracks, but all announcements of new feature launches and initiatives are going to be available right there. So Google Partner Advantage, and you'll find it, and then you can simply sign up. Really easy to do. The other thing is, if you're looking for specifics around F5 and GCP and the partnership and what solutions are available from that perspective, you can go to f5.com/GCP. And if you're looking for listings for F5 solutions, you can go right to the Google Cloud Marketplace in the console. And then there's 35 solutions or more that you can take a look at and figure out what's the right solution for the tailor fit security profile that you're trying to put in place, and then what's the easiest way to procure that.
Awesome. All right. Well, I will stop in just a moment here for a little bit more of kind of final thoughts from all of you. But before we move into our wrap up phase, I'd really love to get into some of these audience questions, because the audience is pumped up. They're ready. They have a ton of questions for you guys. What do you think, Misty, Josh, Joshua? Are you guys ready for this?
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
All right. All right. Well, Josh, I'm going to put you in the hot seat first, because I think this is one for you. So, Josh, if I use a partner like WWT, do I need to move to a managed services model?
You definitely do not have to move to a managed services model. Do you have capabilities to do that? Sure. Right. I'd say one thing that we do a lot at Worldwide Technology is actually strategic resourcing around this, right? So we help you get the correct application that you need, and then we can help you whatever part of that you need help with, right? We can either put somebody in there for you, or help you do it yourself, right? So really, it's not a managed service model. We really can help you wherever you're at on that journey for security.
Awesome. Love that. Okay, well, I'm going to keep the Josh trend going, but I'll send it over to Joshua. This one here is actually a really interesting one, because I've heard you say the word frictionless a few times. And we have an audience member who would like you to give us a little bit more insight into what you mean. So what are some of the reasons you say that F5 and Google Cloud Security is frictionless? Why are we using that word, Joshua?
Awesome. Well, thanks for the question. I think the first piece is let's go back to some of the things that Misty was bringing in. Security should be as seamless and as invisible to the end user as possible. So that's the first thing. And if we think about F5 solutions and the way that application modernization and then some of the bot defense capabilities are built in, they have done that. They've made it so that the technology stack fits well in Google Cloud and can protect your applications and your users with providing kind of a seamless deployment method there. The second thing then from a frictionless standpoint is some of the things we've been alluding to, which would be how can you procure the solution? How can you deploy the solution? And then, what are some of the reference architectures? And of course, Marketplace takes you to the first piece. WWT can certainly help with recommendations, but then also on the f5.com/GCP website, we've got some more information about how the solutions can be used on GCP. And we've got some tech docs out there too. So good opportunity to kind of dig in and figure out, what are some of the frictionless solutions you can put in place for your organization today.
Always more resources to dig into, and that is always the key takeaway from these conversations, right? There's more to learn, because we can cover a lot, but we can only get to so many, and these so much information. So homework for everyone, and I think we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But I want to get into a few more of these questions here. And Misty, this came in when you were talking. You mentioned earlier that there was some opportunity for flexibility based on whatever your environment is, and so I have a follow-up question for you on that. I have big IP on-prem today. So how would I move it to the cloud?
Good question. So, depending on how you have it currently deployed, we have multiple ways that you can. Obviously, there's traditional hardware on-prem, but we also give you the ability to get to purchase VEs, subscription-based. You can purchase through Marketplace with Google. If you have a flexible consumption program already in place right now, we can easily add that into your contract if it's not already covered. We really try to make it as frictionless, so we're going to go with that theme, as possible for customers to buy and to be able to utilize our technology in any environment, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's an I hate to use the word easy, but it's an easy lift, right? If you want to move it to the cloud, working with Google, we've made it as frictionless as possible. So.
I love the theme of our day is frictionless today. I hope that continues for all of us throughout our days.
I do too.
Yeah. There's a follow-up question to that, Misty, that for anyone out there that is wondering, I think this is a good one to address. So is there a way that I can actually try this out? Can I do a POC, or is there any kind of trial available?
Big IP has a free trial on the Google Marketplace. With LTM, DNS, AFM, sorry to give you the acronym alphabet, but for those that are familiar with their products, they're going to understand what I'm saying. Or distributed cloud trials can be requested from f5.com. So we're going to put those all that resources in the console for you guys so that you can see that. But also, following this, we're going to have a free, meet Ask the Experts session as well. So you will need to check your inbox because everybody will receive an email to get that information as a follow-up to this so that you can ask the experts as many questions as you like.
Yeah, we were chatting about that a little bit earlier, and that sounded so cool. Like it's you get to have like a one-on-one conversation. It's genuinely ask me anything. That's such a great follow-up opportunity. So everyone stay tuned in your email inbox for that one, because that one's a don't miss opportunity. Joshua, this has come up a few times today, so I think maybe we just need to expand a little bit when we're talking about multi-cloud. And so question for you, what does it mean that Google Cloud is multi-cloud friendly?
Yeah, I think Josh brought this up earlier, and it's a good point. I assume this question's coming because it will help me dig in a little bit more, right? So let me try and answer that. I think the first thing is openness and multi-cloud has been part of our DNA for years. Google's one of the largest contributors to the open source and the multi-cloud ecosystem. And what we want to do is make sure that by working with the open source community, we can develop well-known open source technologies like Kubernetes, which is the most widely used container architecture now in the industry. And Anthos, which then allows you to take Kubernetes with you wherever you go, which can be utilized across multiple clouds and on. And so, Google believes that open platforms are what really win in the market in the end of the day, not proprietary. And so we want to try and give customers the opportunity to not be locked in, to be able to choose the best technology for them, and then also choose the best method of deployment for that technology. So we want innovation to win in the day, right? And we want to pick the best technology for the use case the customer's trying to solve for. So I think that's really what being multi-cloud friendly is all about. It's giving customers a good choice and then giving them the choice to build and deploy wherever they want to.
Okay, well, speaking of getting the best technology for your use case, we did get a question here that Joshua, I think maybe you can answer for us because we're in the Google Marketplace. So Joshua, can we buy F5 solutions through the Google Cloud Marketplace today?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, F5's worked with us to make sure that they have almost their entire catalog available on GCP Marketplace. So we have 35 F5 products for sale and a number of procurement mechanisms. So you can do self-service purchases, right, which is we call pay-as-you-go, which is the ability to go ahead and subscribe on your own. You can also do work with F5 or with WWT to create a pre-negotiated private offer that then you'd be able to procure, which allows you to also use the flexible consumption program so that you can leverage a multitude of what F5 is bringing to the table. And then soon we'll be rolling out the ability to also buy via WWT in the very near future. So stay tuned for that.
Ooh, all kinds of fun things coming. Can always count on you guys to have exciting stuff, and it's always a little risky where it's like, what's new and fun and coming? And somebody's like, oh, nothing. And you guys are always like, here's 17 things that's coming down your way. All right. Well, hey, Josh, I'm going to kick this one over to you because we got a question that was wondering about, yes, simplicity. We've talked about this a lot, and that is a really important facet just for honestly our mental health and ability to keep up with things and stay ahead of threat actors. We need to keep things as simple as possible. But let's talk about a little bit more to that picture. And so, a question here: how does simplified security help me modernize apps?
Yeah, great question. And before I jump into that, I just want to quickly say, Joshua, I'm excited for that release date of the Google ability to transact on the marketplace for WWT. I'm a little scared also because my days are going to get even more busy. But back to the question, I think today, keeping up with the latest technologies, it's really crucial for businesses, right? So app modernization is a huge piece of that, where it's the process of taking, their existing legacy apps and updating them to their platform infrastructure, right? So, these updates and bug fixes can be rolled out in real time to keep your applications running smoothly. Keeping up your software up to date is essential in that, and really simplifying those operations to ease that burden on your company's IT. And a lot of these companies don't even have the headcount to even do this, right? So I would say one of the things is, definitely working with partners to do this, right? Whether it be F5 or Google or WWT, is really, having us help with those modernizations. And really the cloud is a way that you can do that and really streamline it, right? And simplify that process. So, it can help with those incompatibility issues or the high maintenance cost or scarcity of developers, like we mentioned before. So that really can hold companies back from that complete digital transformation. So I would say, really the cloud is really helping with that app modernization. And really, we even have assessments that you can do around this with WWT. So, happy to help answer any questions around that. But glad you guys had us on today, and, happy to answer any other questions.
That's really cool. That assessment is a great place to start because obviously you got to know what your environment is before you can make any of these changes or additions or enhancements. So that's a neat place to get started. Well, and Josh, I have to send that thanks on back to you and to all of you because I know these types of conversations they're so interesting and so engaging because as much as I love a good PowerPoint presentation, and I actually do, I'm not saying that tongue in cheek. I find that when we kind of put the slides away and then we just talk through things, we get to hear a little bit about what you guys are all excited about as experts in these fields and what you find interesting. And I think the audience really enjoys hearing that as well. So I know that we've gotten a lot of questions coming in. Now, we haven't gotten to all the questions today, and we are going to make sure that anything that we don't get answers gets sent over to your team. So anything that doesn't come up in our live Q&A today, you will get some follow-up answers back. So stay tuned for that. And before we sort of wrap up our conversation, though, I always love to end with a little bit of like a next step. And I think I'd like to ask each of you if you had sort of one thing that you wanted to leave the audience with, or that you would like to see them take action on. What is that one sort of takeaway? And maybe I'll ask you to, we'll go Josh, Misty, Joshua.
Yeah, sounds good. I think the one takeaway, as you hear here, like things are changing constantly, right? Google within the next couple of weeks is going to have the capability to have WWT transact on the marketplace, right? So I would say the marketplace is changing constantly, right? There's always new promotions. There's different ways that you can procure. How that's going to affect your commit with Google or with whatever cloud provider you're utilizing. So I would say be up to speed on how the different marketplaces work. What the advantages are. We've already talked about speed of procurement and deployment. I mean, that's a huge one. How that benefits you with your consumption piece of your commit. So I'd say, reach out to a partner or, to an ISV, or even, Google will be able to tell you the same information, right? But just get up to speed on how the marketplace is working right now. And as we said before, security is massive in the marketplace right now. So get up to speed on that, and happy to help answer any questions you have around that.
Awesome. Misty?
Yeah, I think what from an F5 perspective, and also from, the partnership that we have with both Google and Josh, there is a tremendous amount of resources out on the WWT Advanced Technology Center platform that we've created that I would encourage people to go and look at, as well as the f5.com/GCP. However, I would say, as customers are already and have been in the process of moving to the cloud, hybrid cloud environments, really go out and look at F5's distributed cloud. It will allow you to take those policies and that peace of mind that you already have with F5, move those same type of policies and security out into your hybrid cloud environments, and be able to go to market the way you want to, right, with that ease and availability. So go and look. We just encourage you to read more about our distributed cloud to be able to do that, and also get the visibility you need into all of those environments. So, and I want to thank you for having me on today.
Yeah.
And I think from my perspective, no matter where you are in your journey from a cloud, migration or innovation standpoint, whether you're trying to get data residency so you can, apply analytics and AI and machine learning to the things that you're doing, improve your applications, whether you're just at your first point of starting a POC on GCP, don't leave security as an afterthought. We've seen so many customers that'll get started in the cloud, and once they start to build out an application, they forget that security needs to be a component that's built into that architecture right from the very beginning. So don't wait. As you start that journey, wherever you are in that process, make sure you've got security at the forefront, because it's going to be a key component to what you do, how you deliver it, how you architect it. And be ready to employ experts like WWT to help you make the right choices and move down that path. So thanks everybody for being here today, and thanks Jess for having me back on the platform. It's been great being here with Misty and Josh.
It really, honestly, I've had so much fun with all three of you today, and I just want to echo. I think the biggest takeaway that I'm hearing from all of you as we kind of bring this conversation to a close is that this conversation is a wonderful step, and it's a first step, and there's so much more to learn, and it's an ongoing process, right? You keep learning, you keep reading, the tools are evolving, the threats are evolving, the needs are evolving, and so should our reading lists and our research lists. So I think what you have all provided for us today is that conversation, is that starting point that then opens up future conversations and future discussions. And so I really do hope, and Josh and Misty and Joshua, you've all mentioned that how happy you are to answer these questions and help folks out there dig in a little bit further. So I really do hope that everyone out there will reach out and get in touch and continue to ask those questions. And as we've mentioned a few times, some of those resources are there for you in your audience console right now. So head on over there and make sure you've got those tabs open and downloaded and saved and ready to rock after we wrap, because you're going to want to start digging in right away. So once again, wait for the Ask Me Anything email. That's a huge next step. So yes, when you get that, sign up right away. That's a great takeaway. All right, well, thanks so much, guys. I'm stalling because I don't want to let you guys go because this is so much fun and I wish we could keep going. But I will let you go on about your days, your frictionless days, and thank you so much for being here with us today. It's been a ton of fun.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, my friends. Well, that was one heck of a conversation. That was so interesting. Thank you to all of you who asked some great questions and participated in all the conversations happening in live chat. This has been a really fun day. And I don't know about all of you, but my brain is full of cool and sparkly information. I feel like there's a little snow globe in my head right now of cool insights. So if you are feeling like you have all this cool, glittery, sparkly information in your head and you want to kind of sort through it, you want to take that next step, you want to jump in and learn a little bit more, the meeting with F5, this option that you have to book that meeting and get a cool sweater, but also to get that follow-up, get that insight and information that you need in order to start taking action on some of the things that we talked about today. Lots of cool resources for you in the handouts tab, so be sure you do go spend some time exploring once we wrap up. But before you head out, we do have one more little bit of fun to add into this already awesome day, and that is a prize giveaway. Okay, so I will remind you again that you do need to be here live and present at the webinar in order to win, and today's winner of a $250 Amazon gift card is Nina Alexenko of South Carolina. Nina Alexenko of South Carolina. Congratulations to you, Nina. Now, as always, we will be in touch about claiming your prize after we wrap up the webinar. All right, well, with that, on behalf of the Actual Tech Media team, I want to once again thank F5. I want to thank Google Cloud, WWT for making this webinar possible, and especially to our incredible speakers. We got to chat with Misty today. We got to speak with Josh Squared, Josh Cubed, the Joshes. You've all given us so much to think about today, and as I said, just lots of fun and sparkly little takeaways floating around in my head. And on that note, my biggest high five and thank you, as always, has to go to all of you. I know that we are approaching the end of the year. I know that things are a little crazy right now. And maybe you're feeling that ramp up, ramp out of 2023 and feeling that pressure on your shoulders, and to take time out of your day and spend it participating in this kind of a conversation is really important and matters a lot to us. And it makes the conversation deeper. It makes the opportunity to learn from one another deeper and wider, and really helps grow all of our understanding. So I do very much, and from the bottom of my heart, want to thank all of you for joining in this conversation today. I hope that we'll get to have a few more conversations with you in this year, and certainly looking forward to them in the future. Well, I've learned a ton. I'm going to go kind of sort through the sparkly snow globe of information that's floating around in my head right now, and head on out. I hope that I'll get to see all of you again soon. And until I do, have an absolutely beautiful end to your day.